Don't be distracted. Thank you for joining. I appreciate everybody who have joined, and thank you so much for joining. And we are going to start. Other people can join us later. May Chukwu Okike be my guide and protect every single person that have joined this broadcast. And I welcome you as you have joined. If you're joining me from Biafra land more especially, you're joining me from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand, from Asia. Any place you are joining this broadcast, I say may Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect you and secure you. Thank you for joining. Every one of us have seen the situation of things now. Everything is becoming much more clearer than it is before. The separation of the weed from the chaff is continuing. Continuation of separation of the weed from the chaff is going on. And you have to be very firm. You have to be very watchful. Open your ears, open your eyes, and be very watchful. And choose where you belong. And mind whom you follow. Chukwu Okike Abiyama, by his own self, is creating the demarcation and separating the evil from the good. Chukwu Okike Abiyama by himself is exposing evil from the good. Chukwu Okike Abiyama is trying to make a way for Biafra to come. The coming of Biafra is closer than it is before. It is much more closer today than it was yesterday. It is much more closer than it is today than it is yesterday. The coming of Biafra is much more closer than it is to it's much more closer this year than it was last year. And as the coming of Biafra is drawing closer, more temptations are coming, more blackmail are coming, more obstacles are coming, more killings are coming, more distractions are coming. The separation of the evil from the good is happening, even in the struggle. The chaff is being separated from the weed. It is going on seriously, and you must have to keep your eyes open for you to be able to know what is going on. Don't be distracted. Do not be deceived. If you allow yourself to be deceived, you are going to regret it. You are going to regret it if you allow yourself to be deceived. This is the time you have to stand firm so that you can carry your flag into Biafra land. This is the time to stand firm so that you can carry your flag into Biafra land. I want to tell you, just as if you have read in my topic, if you have read that topic, there is no way you can love Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and hate Biafra. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is Biafra, and Biafra is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Chidi Sinwosu, thank you so much for joining, Chidi. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is Biafra, and Biafra is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. There is no way you can hate Biafra. You hate Biafra with all God, and you say you love Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. You are a liar and a deceiver. You are a liar and a deceiver, and you are just there to cause disruption and cause obstruction and delay people who want to create awareness. That is what you are doing. There is no Mazen Nnamdi Kanu himself is Biafra, and Biafra is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. You cannot separate Mazen Nnamdi Kanu from Biafra, and you cannot separate Biafra from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. These two are one. When you are talking about the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi, you are actually talking about the freedom of Biafran people. Your own freedom as a Biafran, my own freedom as a Biafran. That is what we are fighting for. You cannot separate Biafra from Mazen Nnamdi, and you cannot hate Biafra and Biafrans, and you say you love Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It is impossible. And remember, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is Igbo Biafran. Full-blooded Igbo Biafran. That is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu loves his people. He doesn't love only the Igbo Biafrans alone. He loves every single Biafran. That was why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu went to the extent of telling us that we are all Biafran. We are all Igbos. It doesn't matter how you try to change the narrative. It doesn't matter how you try to change the story. It is clear that everybody in the old southeastern region, check deeply, you will see that they are from one ancestral parents. We are all Igbos. Every single one of us is Igbos. That is when you see somebody abusing the Igbo Biafrans, you are actually abusing yourself. You are actually insulting yourself. Every accusation you throw against the Igbo Biafrans, you are doing that to yourself. Every accusation you throw against Ijo Biafrans, you are doing against yourself. Every accusation you throw against the Efik Biafrans, you are doing against yourself. Every accusation you throw against the Edo Biafrans, you are doing against yourself. Biafran people, we are one blood. We are one people. You can never ever divide us. It doesn't matter you pretend how you, even if you pretend from today to tomorrow. The funniest thing is that the Janjaweed themselves knows us. They know us, every single one of us in the old southeastern region. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter what you speak. It doesn't matter what you eat. It doesn't matter what you deny. It doesn't matter if you deny to be Biafra. The Janjaweed Caliphate know everybody in the old southeastern region as Biafrans. They know us as Biafrans. Even if you deny yourself, they know you as Biafrans. And we are one people. That is why if you see anybody peddling any other agenda, pursuing any other name apart from Biafra, stay away from such people. They don't mean well for you. They do not mean well for you. They do not mean well for every Biafra. We know whom we are and we know where we are coming from. We know our origin. We know whom we are and we know where we are coming from. We know our ancestral parents. We know every other name and every other God that is attached to us. We know them all. Including the Idu they are talking about, or whatever. We know what it is and what it stands for. We respect every tribe. We respect every language. We respect every region. That is what Biafra is. Biafra is a nation where people have the freedom to practice what you want to practice. But it becomes a problem when you are taking your belief or your practice to disrupt others. That is the caliphate mentality. That's what they're bringing. And as soon as you begin to introduce your caliphate mentality into the struggle of Biafra, you are failing. You are falling out of line. You are falling, and you are not from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when he was saying it is either Biafra or death, he wasn't joking about it. He wasn't joking about it. He wasn't missing word. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it time and time, not one time, not twice, not twice. He said Biafra or death. He said it is either Biafra or death. And that is why, even up to today, at the point of death, he is still standing for Biafra. But you see, some people begin to push some narrative. Some of them will begin to brainwash you and twist your mind to things that are not existing. We are all human. Every Biafran have this in the back of your mind. We are still human. We are living in the planet Earth. And we deal with the things that we see. We walk with the things that we hear and the things that we see. We are not in the spirit world. When we get to the spirit world, then we can be talking like spirits. But as it stands now, we are human and we think like human. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very much alive. He is breathing. Very, very much alive. 1,000% alive. And no man born of a woman can take his life except Chukwu Okike Abiyama. And if anybody is telling you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have died and resurrected, please, mind the people you listen to. Mind the people you listen to. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not dead. You see people speaking from both sides of your mouth. Some people tell you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is indestructible. The same people who tell you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is indestructible will tell you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have died. He have resurrected. A lot of confusion. It is high time Biafrans focus. The only assignment Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have left for us, the foundation that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have laid on the ground, is the foundation of Biafra. The foundation of Biafra. That is the foundation he laid in order to get freedom for everybody in the old southeastern region. After we have gotten our freedom, if you choose to answer a different name from that very name that we used to get our freedom, it is up to you. Nobody's going to force you to answer your name you want to answer. This is something that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has shouted on, not once, not twice, not thrice. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it that when Biafra comes, every nation in Biafra land will stand on their own. Even if there are two people. If there are two people and they want to be on their own, they will be on their own. So many nations make up Biafra. There are so many nations that make up Biafra. Biafra is not one. There are so many nations that make up Biafra. And when Biafra comes, these nations, if they choose to be on their own and answer whatever it is left for them. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been shouting on it that there is no minority in Biafra land. We are all equal people. There is no minority. Why is it that there is no minority? There is no minority because we are from one ancestral parents. We are one people, one family, one blood is flowing in our vein, one culture. One culture. That is why when you see people in their platform abusing one tribe or the other, you see people talking down on one tribe or the other, you know that those people don't know what they are saying and they don't mean well. They are not for the struggle. Their main purpose for the struggle is not to push the agenda of freedom. That is not their purpose. Their only purpose is to create division and hatred. That is what it is. There is nothing a man, a Biafran person will do to you that will make you to go to the extent of demonizing a whole tribe because of an offense of one person. You demonize a whole tribe. You name them saboteur, you call them betrayers, you call them a whole tribe, you give them a pattern, you paint them black because of the offense of a single person. This is how you know people who doesn't mean well for the Biafran struggle. Look deep into the Biafran struggle. Look deep into the section of Biafra, the old Southeastern region. There is no part of the Southeastern region where you will not see people who have betrayed the Biafran cause. There is no part in in the old Southeastern region, the present South and the Southeast with the lower border. There is no part you will go where you will not find people who are standing against the freedom of their own people. There are so many of them. They are not hiding. In every tribe, in all religion, in the old Southeastern region, you will find people who have betrayed their region in one time or the other, and who are still betraying up to today. So, why must you now blanket a section or a tribe? Even the tribe that is performing well, that are the ones holding the struggle, they are the one paying the highest price. Yes, you claim that you can be bold enough to come and demonize them. If you continue your demonization, assuming that the tribe you are demonizing, they don't know what they are fighting for. Assuming that the Igbos that most of these people are demonizing don't know what they are fighting for, and they decide to walk away from this struggle. Do you think you can achieve anything? Do you think you can achieve? If they decide to walk away from the struggle, do you think you can achieve anything? But because they know that they are fighting for their own life, it's a matter of life and death. It is not about you. It is not about your propaganda. It is about each and every one of us that is watching this video. The freedom is for you. It's for me. It's for each and every one of us as an individual. We know what we are fighting for. To free ourselves and our born children. If it was for because of one person and the Igbo Biafran decide to walk away from the struggle, you cannot achieve a shit. It cannot last more than a minute. It will be dead. But still, you see some people who will have a gut to begin to challenge, paint a whole tribe evil. We are all one people in the old Southeastern region as one parents. Do not allow this evil agenda to prosper. If you are sincerely a Biafran and you are looking for your freedom, do not allow this evil agenda to prosper. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have taken more than a decade to unite the old Southeastern region and make us see ourselves as brothers and sisters. But today, you see what they are introducing. They are introducing one name or the other, trying to decimate the Biafran name that we have. They try to divide the Biafra struggle by bringing a name from a planet I don't know. We are not quarreling with your name. I personally am not quarreling with any name you are bringing. But why must you use that to fight against people who are standing for the genuine cause of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? And you claim to love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You that claim to help Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will open your mouth and say that you hate Biafra with all God. You hate Biafrans. You hate Biafra. When somebody comes to your platform and talk about Biafra, it will seem as if you pour hot water on the person. And yet you say you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. How can you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and you hate Biafra? How? Try to make me understand. How can anybody love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and yet you hate Biafra? You cannot love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and hate Biafra. You cannot love Biafra. You cannot hate Biafra and love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is not possible. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is Biafra. This is somebody who has given it all. He has given of every single thing he has because of the struggle. He gave his father, gave his mother, gave his children, gave his wife. Today he's in captivity. He has given up everything, his career, to make your voice heard, to make sure you have your freedom. He was able to take the struggle of Biafra to the highest level. Today, the whole world knows the story of Biafra. Today, the whole world is talking about Biafra. Today, United Nations discuss about Biafra. They spoke about Biafra. Today, every international community, every other foreign countries, they know about Biafran struggle. Because Mazen Nande cannot have done the needful. But all of a sudden, you see somebody will spring up from no angle and begin to talk down on that very Biafra. Begin to change that very thing that Mazen Nande Kanu is dying for. And you claim to love him. You use his picture, you use his broadcast, you play his record, you say you love him. Yet, that thing that he is dying for, that thing that he has committed his life for and said that he will die for, you hate that thing. You are making sure that that thing doesn't come to pass. When people talk about the actualization of Biafra, you don't want to hear Biafra in your ears. And yet, you claim to love Mazen Nande Kanu. How can you love Mazen Nande Kanu and hate Biafra? Explain to me. How can anybody claim to love Mazen Nande Kanu and you hate Biafra? When you know that Biafra is Mazen Nande Kanu. Biafra is the air that Mazen Nande Kanu breathes. Since Mazen Nande Kanu started the struggle for Biafra, he has given everything that he has, including his own life, for the struggle of Biafra, for the actualization of Biafra. But today you see people peddling lie. Some will tell you that Mazen Nande Kanu told them about Idu. Mazen Nande Kanu told you to go and verify that there is something important in that place you should know. That is why when I was talking about the revelation that somebody said that she had, that revelation, knowing who you are. Knowing who you are does not mean you change your name. Knowing whom you are, it doesn't mean that you have to change your name. It doesn't mean you change your name. It's just like a woman that is married. A woman that is married left her own family to go and marry another man and bears the man's name. All of a sudden, you are reminding that woman and tell the woman, remember, this is the family where you are coming from. Don't forget the family you are coming from. When you tell that woman, don't forget the family you are coming from, it doesn't mean that she has to go and remove the name of her husband and stop answering the name that she answered. Knowing fully well that it is that is the custom. You have to bear the name of your husband. That is the tradition in Africa. You have to answer the name of your husband. You don't bear your maiden name. Forget about the present world where we are, in the recent world where you can reach agreement with your husband, and your husband, for one reason or the other, can permit you to answer your maiden name. Some husband can permit their wife to answer their maiden name. That is for them. But in the culture, in African culture, you answer the name of your husband. And as you're answering the name of your husband, when you get home and your parents tell you, don't forget whom you are. Remember whom you are. Remember the family where you're coming from. Do your parents telling you to go and change your name and stop answering the name of your husband? That is not what it means. When it's being said, know whom you are, we know, you have to know who we are. We know whom we are as Biafran people. Biafran people, we have so many things that are attached to us. We know where we are coming from. We know how far we have suffered. We know our ancestral parents. We know people who are related to us and people who are related to. We know our brothers and sisters who have been sold to slavery. We have to call them back. We know people who were offended in one way or the other. We have to reconcile. That is what it means. And you say, know who you are. It doesn't mean change of name. It has nothing to do with change of name. But all of a sudden, somebody came up, first of all, with that blackmail. That Biafrans, we must know whom we are. Know who we are. Then knowing whom we are, your meaning is that we should now deny Mazen Nande Kanu completely to go and follow a name that nobody knows about. A name that nobody knows about. A name that Mazen Nande Kanu say, go and make investigation. There are something you are supposed to know about it. So many people do not know anything about that name. And we are supposed to know. And since Mazen Nande Kanu gave that instruction, so many people have made inquiry. And today, people have a bigger knowledge and broader knowledge of whom they are, of the connection they have with you. They now have the knowledge. But that doesn't mean you have to deny Biafra. That doesn't mean you have to throw away Biafra. That doesn't mean you have to decimate and destroy the struggle of Biafra. That is not what it means. But all of a sudden, this blackmail was being brought. And this woman began to preach this blackmail in every platform, begin to paint it. Initially, we thought it's just a joke. We thought it was, she meant it for good. Then we just kept silent and say, if you are fighting for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, every single one of us know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu stands for Biafra and Biafra alone, nothing else. It is either Biafra or death. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said it in black and white. Then we relax and say, since you say that is what is going to make you fight for Mazen Nnamdi, go ahead. And Mazi Simon Ekpa, why I love Mazi Simon Ekpa so much is that even within that time when this trouble was coming up, when this issue of Idu or whatever, Mazi Simon Ekpa came out and said, in my platform, I will continue to preach Biafra, speak about Biafra until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out. That the only man that has the right to change the narrative or change anything is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out, we will do the needful. If it is needful that will change the name, then it will be changed. Apart from that, nobody has the right to change it. The assignment was that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say, go and study about that very thing. There is something in Igurumiguru. Go and study about Igurumiguru. There is a connection between Biafra struggle and Igurumiguru. There is something in Igurumiguru that we need to know. That we should go and study it, know it, and have it at the back of our mind. That was the assignment. All of a sudden, somebody now capitalized on that very assignment now. You have now done the assignment, and now you now want to proceed more than your lecturer. After doing your assignment, you are marking the script for yourself. An assignment that was given by a lecturer. You can't even wait for that lecturer that gave you that assignment to come out and mark your script to see if you got it right or wrong. The normal thing to do, the normal thing that a sensible person should do is that when assignment is given to you, you wait for the person that have given you the assignment. After you have solved the assignment and done the assignment, you carry the assignment to that very person who gave you the assignment to give you a result. Nobody set exam for him or herself and mark the exam and will not pass. If you set the exam for yourself and you mark the exam, you must pass. That is how life is. You don't set the exam for yourself and you mark your exam sheet. You don't mark it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave that assignment for us to go and make inquiry investigation based on this. Today, you see some people capitalizing on assignment that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has given. Okay, assuming you have done the assignment, why don't you wait for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come out and then give a mark to the script? Or maybe in your own devilish mind, you are thinking that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to come out anymore. Maybe in your devilish mind, you think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to be freed anymore. That is why you have went ahead to mark the script for yourself. And now you are carrying your script and walking around. And if every single one of us should mark our script and we begin to bring an answer, do you think you're going to succeed? Or do you think you're going to make a headway? Of course you cannot make a headway anyway. You can't make a headway. If you're allowed to mark your script, you can make a headway. If you want to join the broadcast, to make a contribution, please keep your phone this way. You have to keep your phone in a horizontal form. When you keep your phone in a horizontal form, you can be able to come into the broadcast. If you keep your phone straight, you cannot join. Keep your phone in a horizontal form. When you keep your phone in a horizontal form, then you can be able to connect. That is the only way to connect. When you keep your phone straight, you can connect. Keep your phone in horizontal form, then you can connect. Then you can make your contribution. So as I was saying, there is no way anybody, anywhere can be able to mark a script for him or herself and will not pass. An assignment was given. A lecturer gave an assignment. After solving the assignment, you have to wait for the lecturer to come and give an answer. All of a sudden, you see what they are preaching on their platform. The only thing they are holding hand is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke about Igurumiguru and he talked about Idu. This is the only thing they're holding hand. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke about Idu. But what he gave was an assignment. Go and solve the assignment and wait for him to come and mark your script if you passed or not. And the reason why the heavy attack came on Simon Ekpa is because Mazi Simon Ekpa on his platform said that he will continue to preach Biafra. That he will never change from preaching Biafra until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out. That the only man that has the right to change the narrative is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Simon Ekpa said it on his platform. In earlier time, when this issue of this Idu issue come, he said that he went further to say that whatever Nelly is preaching, that his platform is big enough to suppress everything they are preaching. So Biafra should not worry. Allow her to give a message. Since she believes that it is that message of Idu that is going to make her fight for Mazen Nandekano freedom, don't distract her. Allow her to continue to fight on it. Meanwhile, Simon Ekpa on his own platform said that he will continue to fight for the restoration of Biafra until Mazen Nandekano comes out. He will never change. That you shouldn't bother yourself. Don't bother yourself about person who is preaching Idu. Don't listen to them. If you don't go and listen to them. His platform is bigger enough to suppress everything you hear from whatever Idu message. And that was one of the brokers that Simon Ekpa made that made them to begin to plan on how to attack him. And today you can see the attack on Simon Ekpa. When you go to their program today, they have now taken over from the DOS. What they talk about is Simon Ekpa, Simon Ekpa, Simon Ekpa. Then ask them, give me a critical reason. Give me an evidence and an offense that you can tell me that Simon Ekpa have committed. None. He has not committed any offense. Some of them saying that Simon is claiming to be the spokesperson of Biafra. Simon claiming to be, they were the first people that came out. These people who are calling Simon that he's claiming to be a leader. He's claiming to be a spokesman. They were the first person that came out and held a program. In that program, they did election within themselves. After doing their voting, they voted and voted, and they say they voted someone in to be the leader until Mazen Nandekano comes out. They did that election and they called Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa told him that he's not interested. That the Biafran struggle has no, the autopilot doesn't have a leader. That Mazen Nandekano remains the leader of the struggle as long as Mazen Nandekano is alive. Simon Ekpa said he is not interested. That Mazen Nandekano remains the leader of the struggle. Wherever he is, he remains the leader of the struggle. Simon Ekpa said it pop and clear. The day they did the election, I was watching them live. These people today that are attacking Simon Ekpa. These same people today that are saying that he's claiming to be the spokesperson. These same people today that are saying that he's claiming to be the leader. They were the people that came together. Simon was not in that broadcast. Only them came together to make an election, begin to make vote. People were calling in and making vote. We want this person to be, we want this person. After all said and done, they called him and he rejected it. He said the only leader that the struggle has is Mazen Nandekano. He said it. That the only leader Mazen Nandekano, the struggle has is Mazen Nandekano. And he continued doing what he's doing. Not until the challenges get high. And him being the spokesperson of Biafran people is a very clear indication he is doing a very great work. Who again, without him, who again will speak? Each time you see a broker from the caliphate, each time they send their brokers, the only person that comes out immediately to counter the brokers is Simon Ekpa. Whenever you hear any brokers, any broker that is against the struggle, against Mazen Nandekano, the only first person that come out to counter it is Simon Ekpa. If the news is coming from the international body, coming from any media outlet, coming from the caliphate, coming from the politicians, Simon Ekpa is always the first person to react. Each time Biafrans are being killed, he's always the first person to react. So, his being a spokesperson is by merit. He being the spokesperson of Biafra is by merit. It's by merit. Nobody forced him and nobody imposed it on him. Nobody, he doesn't have to wait for you to anoint him. The anointing was given to him by Chukwu Okakabe on himself. And that is where you see the work when we are talking about the autopilot. That is the meaning of autopilot. Autopilot doesn't have a leader. It doesn't mean you have to stand in a group and have these ones are our hardcore broadcasters, autopilot broadcasters. Autopilot means that Chukwu Okakabe will use you to be doing things on his own without you knowing. That is what autopilot means. Chukwu Okakabe will use you to do something that will affect the struggle. Do something to release Mazen Nandekano without you yourself knowing. That is how autopilot works. It is not a meeting. It's not a meeting where you gather to begin to gossip. It is not a meeting where you gather to look for who is going to be a leader, who is not going to be a leader. It is not a meeting where you gather to look for who to pull down, who not to pull down. It is a gathering where people come together, where people who are being moved by Chukwu Okakabe are forced to do what they are supposed to do. Sometimes you do things without knowing what you are doing. The anointing comes upon you. Chukwu Okakabe places the anointing on you without you. It doesn't need your approval. He doesn't need your approval. You begin to act. You begin to speak up. That is how it works.
Are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you, if you come and stand on the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We'll crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold the whole of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals, they are saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You cannot go everywhere. We must continue.